Okay, this is for Trademan, Deviant Art. Wanted to see how I draw Zombie Tramp. Instead of just taking a bunch of stills and having to stop like through my process of drawing and keep having to stop and take a picture or scan it throughout, I just said, hey, why don't I'll make you a video and then you can see how I draw Zombie Tramp. And of course he wants Zombie Tramp nude, so you know, I'm not going to object to that, so let's start. I've been drawing for so long, like the same designs over and over, that it's just these little guidelines and stuff that I make, they really don't mean too much. I always divide where the eyes are going to go. A lot of people, when you learn to draw, they always tell you, they always have you do that circle and then make the line here, then the line down the middle on both sides. I don't do that because I draw big eyes, so I make two lines, so I divide it three ways: 1 2 3, 1 2 3. And of course I always do a 3/4. This is the easiest pose I do. Everything's 3/4 head turn facing this way. My publisher laughs at me, he thinks it's funny. But yeah, if you look at a lot of my stuff, it's always facing that way, and it's because I'm a lazy artist. What can I say? So here's here's where I go. Basically, just do a bunch of circles. I just kind of lightly mark in where the nose is going, the eyes. This top line, see, it doesn't mean nothing. It should have went right there if I was gonna making that for any reason. But this is where I'm gonna put the eyebrow, I guess. So. After I mark in where the nose is going, then I'll make in like the nose actual shape, a little bit of a nostril and stuff. Very lightly go from the tip of the nose, like a little swoop, to where I'm going to put in the lips. And right now I just kind of roughen the lips. Let's go in with the eyebrows. Always make it a little bit thick right there, then go to thin. There, I always put in a little bit of a tear duct, so it just doesn't look like a stupid circle. Give it a little bit of something, a little bit of variation. I have no placement for ears. Like I said, I just been drawing this same stuff for so long that I don't have guidelines really. I just know that I'm gonna put the ear about right here. So I just kind of rough in an ear. Even though when I do hairdos and things like that, if the hair is gonna cover the ear, I still draw the ear because it helps me line in where I'm gonna put the hair. Because now I go in straight to a sideburn, do a scalp line, come in like that. Now I have my hair marked off exactly where I want it to go. For the lips, I've been teased a lot, like about always drawing these big ass donut lips. My lips have gotten a lot smaller than I used to draw them. So I think I got it to about where I want it now. They used to be gigantic freaking lips. I thought it was cool back then, and then when I look at those drawings now, it just looks retarded. I always do like that slight open mouth, and all it is you make a line and then make a little opening at the bottom, so it's like the lowercase d, I guess. Yeah, lowercase d right there. When I lay in the body, it's just, again, I've done it so many times, I'm just busting it out now, and there's no reason for any of it. I can't explain everything that I do. It's just, at this point, what feels right and what looks right when I draw. Zombie Tramp seems to have 3 points now when I do her bangs. She always has that one long one, but it's always the one short and then the two at the peak, and it always comes at about the peak of a little bit off to the corner of her, the end of her forehead. then like I said, it's gonna cover her ear, but I still drew the ear anyways. And now this whole new thing, Zombie Tramp started. As I drew her more, I started getting more comfortable with her, and I started things just start to develop. When you're doing character design, a lot of times you think you got it, and then you start drawing them, and then as you draw them more and more and more, they start taking a shape of their own, and the designs actually get better. Because you get more comfortable, and you start seeing things appear often more and more and more, and you're like, okay, that's her trademark. She has to have that. So now Zombie Tramp has to have this little curl right here. It just started happening. I don't know why, but it just looks cool. And then also originally she just had that huge gash in her cheek right here. If you look in the book, the first couple ones or whatever, it was just like some weird kind of triangle. But as she's developed now, it's a heart. So Zombie Tramp's been through a lot. Horrible life she's had. So, some people wear their heart on their sleeves. She wears it on her cheek. Also, I'm really big on collarbones. Another thing people made fun of me about, my protruding collarbones. I like them. Of course, that's not how a human looks. Who cares? I just like it because it frames where the shoulders end and the chest begins. So that's what I do there. I don't shade a lot when I do pencil, but for some reason I always have to put those lines right underneath the neck of where it's shadowed in and stuff. And then her tits, whatever, her boobs or her breasts, whatever you fucking want to call them. The way I lay it in is I've been studying boobs since I hit puberty, so the more you draw them, the more you stare at them like a weirdo, you get better at it. In high school, I would say when I drew boobs, it looked, I thought it was cool. It looked like crap. It looked like hard footballs. And as I started drawing more and more, and I started taking lots of life drawing. Went to college. They made me do lots and lots and lots of life drawing. You start to see how how gravity hits boobs and stuff or whatever, and I start, of course they still look ridiculously big, or people say or whatever. I think they look fine. It's a cartoon, like, what I mean, but still I liked her to have some weight to it, and I always just loosely put in where I'm gonna put her nipples. Even if I'm gonna put clothes on her, I still kind of always loosely put where the nipples are gonna go, because she really doesn't wear too much to begin with, so I have to make sure if I'm gonna cover her up that I'm putting the wardrobe in right so it can cover her nipples. I used to draw waists way thinner, and I'm thickening them up lately. I don't know why, just evolution, I guess. The more you draw, if you look at your old stuff, if you are learning anything at all, even if you don't know you're learning things, I'd say that if you can save your drawings and look at them every month, if you've been drawing a lot, you'll start to see a difference. Even today, like, if I look at Zombie Tramp when I first started drawing her, I don't want to look at it. It looks like crap. She looks way better now. I think she looks a little cuter. I say a lot, whatever. So that's that. So I lay in the hips. When I come in the rib cage, I used to just go like straight like down and then out to the hips, but I don't do that no more. I'm actually using a little bit more anatomy sense, where I'm actually putting in a hint of where the boobs are laying on her rib cage and all that. I always put these lines. I don't know why. Belly button always around always lower than where the hips going in, hip out. My hips I draw kind of big, I guess, but women are supposed to be curvy. One of my favorite artists growing up is Shiro Masamune, the guy who created Ghost in the Shell and all that. I learned a lot, how he draws boobs and all that stuff. From him, I liked his stuff a lot, but the thing about him is that he never drew hips, and it bothered me. So, you know, just because you like an artist doesn't mean you have to draw everything that they do. I don't know where I got the hips from, of what artist or whatever, but I do like hips on real women too. I kind of just laid this in without talking about it. The legs, you know, because I do such pretty big hips or whatever, I still have to control the thickness of her thighs. Usually I'll come in about here. When someone has their hip out, kind of, there's like there's like a point where like there's like a bone that pushes out and meat around it, where there's like a divot, and then right behind it is kind of like where the butt meat's gonna start, and I just kind of put that in there lightly sometimes, just because I need to break up where her hips ending and her butt's beginning.